Well, it is time now to take another look at a piece of our state's fascinating past.
Today we are talking about the efforts that went into the building of Memorial Stadium. Joining us now with more is Chris Goforth with the Nebraska State Historical Society. Good morning, Chris.
Yeah, good morning.
Were you at the game this weekend?
I was not, but did enjoy watching the game from the comfort of my own home. The lines were a lot shorter to my refrigerator, I hear, so.
Right.
Well, what do you have for us today?
So yeah, Memorial Stadium was a major construction project in Lincoln. It was built as a memorial to the state's World War I servicemen and women. The stadium's construction required significant resources during a severe economic depression in Nebraska. The project was funded without state money and instead relied on pledges from university students, staff, alumni, and well-wishers. The initial fundraising campaign led by the Nebraska Memorial Association was launched in 1920 with an ambitious goal of raising $1 million, but that would be for a complex that included the stadium, a gymnasium, a museum, and assembly rooms. However, this effort was hampered by the faltering economy of the time and resistance from local groups who preferred to support their own community memorials. In 1922, the University of Nebraska Alumni Association took over the fundraising, led by Howard Holtz and the newly elected secretary. He then organized a more realistic goal of about $450,000, scaled back the project to just a stadium. Holtz, who was also a World War I veteran himself, ran the campaign with like a business-like approach, directly overseeing the fundraising. And despite ongoing opposition and financial problems, the Parsons Construction Company was hired to build the stadium, and construction began April 26, 1923. Was the stadium finished in time for that first home game? No, not quite. The contractors actually warned that they would not be held responsible for injuries when the university opened the partly finished stadium on October 13th, 1923. Thankfully, no fans were hurt, even though some were climbing the scaffolding, and few even got up to the upper balcony that was unfinished. But the first team to face Nebraska did not fare so well. The Huskers won that game in a shutout, 24-0, against a team that they faced more times than not, the Oklahoma Sooners. You can learn more about this in the Nebraska History Magazine in a 1998 article written by Michelle Fagan, and it's also one of our most recent Nebraska History podcast episodes that came out just a couple weeks ago.
Wow, yeah, I love seeing all those photos of the stadium in the early years. I mean, you think about where we are now as opposed to where it started.
Yeah, and some of those pledges that were put out there may not necessarily been those that were voluntary. There was a major push to get as many people involved to pledge money, even if they didn't want to. But at the end of the day, the stadium was completed, and now we have one heck of a place to watch those Husker games every year.
Yeah, and I love that the first game we beat the Sooners 24-0.
Yeah, it just adds, just a little frosting on the cake, if you will. Yeah.
All right. All right, thank you, Chris.
Thank you so much.